Alright, welcome everybody to our grand finals, the last match of the Metroid Fusion Any Percent tournament between CScottyW and Hmonkeysmb. Very excited. I have my co-commentator here, Jagger G. Welcome.
Hello, hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. I'm super excited for this match. This should be some super high level Metroid Fusion, which I'm always happy to see. Monkey's been playing excellent this tournament, so it'll hopefully be a little different from Scotty just easing everybody in the entire tournament. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I want to say they've both been running since like 2014, 2015-ish, give or take.
Yep. Long before I started speedrunning this game. But yeah, two legends, the community, and as far as the tournament goes, they're tied 1-1. Scotty died in Sector 6 right before he got the E-Tank in their first match, and then went through the losers bracket quite easily, and then they met in a match, what was it, earlier this week, I believe? And Scotty won that one, so this is the final to end everything. Whoever wins this wins the tournament.
And it looks like they're off. Yeah, I guess Scotty did come in a bit later, maybe 2016-ish. Like, he was playing Zero Mission for a while, was grinding at that, and then he switched over to Fusion as well. And then he ran all of the 2D Metroids.
Yep.
And then went up against some of the best in the world, in a relay race, and beat everyone.
Yeah,
so that was pretty great.
Beast. Even Super Metroid, I was surprised to see. He's never really tried 80%, but he's like top 10 in Hundo and SM, which is like one of the most competitive speedruns. Yeah, which is crazy. But pretty good climb out of both here.
Yeah, I believe Fusion is his main speed game.
Yeah, Fusion and ZM. I would probably say those two. The ones he's grinded the most, at least from what I know.
And Monkey's been around since way back. It's been speedrunning, I believe he's speedrun Zero Mission as well.
Yeah, Monkey's pretty young too. I think he started speedrunning Fusion when he was like 13 or 14 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this will be very, very close. Already, they're pretty much synced. But not too much to talk about for main deck, besides they're going to be grabbing missiles here soon, and then coming up on the first Idor and Arachnus.
Yeah, back when I was growing up, gaming was a pretty casual endeavor, but I feel like Monkey was pretty aware of competitive gaming growing up.
I know, right?
He's been able to push himself.
Of course, when I was his age, because I'm an old geezer, speedrunning wasn't even a thing, or it was brand spanking new. So, it's different nowadays that speedrunning's a little bit more mainstream, but yeah, to me, if I just beat the game, that was good enough for me. When I was 13, 14, 15 years old. Monkey is Sigma, agreed. Right? On that grind set. Yeah, he's improved a lot just in the span of this tournament. I think he's improved his PB by about a minute.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how much you improve just by enjoying what you do.
Definitely. From what I've witnessed, Monkey even goes for faster strats than Scotty. But Scotty tends to be a little bit more on the consistent end of it. So, but yeah, you'll see Monkey here and there do some crazy Like even there was a specific room in main deck there where he was like climbing up a little bit faster than Scotty, but Scotty there just a tiny bit more consistent. So with its like less than a second lead right now.
And like all of the fastest strategies in various places throughout the run save pretty much like fractions of a second, and it's just such a minor detail. And when you go for many of them, they add up to several seconds, but they could also cost you.
Scotty getting carried by RNG here, but he missed the double. Both of them into the door at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's good to see. Great to see.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Monkey actually got the double on the, what was that, second try or something?
Yes.
Or second opening?
Yeah, the eye doors could like literally make the difference here on who wins. So it's good to see that nobody got too screwed over on these first two eye doors. We don't have charge yet, so they can make a big difference with how many beams these gunners get. So I'm happy to see that they didn't get too screwed over here. Although Monkey with
multiple rolls.
Yeah, Monkey with not the greatest fight there.
An unfortunate lack of missiles going into the core. Didn't get the lucky drops he needed.
Okay, yeah, I actually was watching Scotty there, so I didn't see exactly what happened on Monkey's side.
Lost 2 or 3 seconds trying to farm green X.
That's the worst, where you get just all yellow drops. I hate that. Right, but main deck, it's about the end here. We'll get a very scary cutscene here, so hold on to your horses, everybody. It will be a little scary, but after that, we'll get into Sector 1, and then this speedrun, I like to say, like, each progression, each, like, Sector 1 you get your charge beam, in Sector 4 you get speed booster. Every upgrade kind of makes the run, at least in my opinion, more enjoyable to watch and play. So as we progress and get more upgrades, you'll see a lot more tech and strategy used.
I was kind of hoping one of the players would do it, but you could actually open that door and just leave it open for the SAX, and it doesn't change the cutscene at all. It still destroys the door frame, but that does cost a few frames to actually turn around and shoot the door. There are a ton of tricks that the players have already been doing, such as door fixing, where they're actually intentionally jumping through doors, even though normally you want to stay on the ground as long as possible. Certain rooms are aligned in such a way that when you go through a door, the screen will shift up or down to align with the door going into the next room. And so they jump in order to fix the camera so that there's no movement up or down, which makes them transition a little bit faster. As well as whenever they're unmorphing, I noticed Scotty was like doing a little jump out of the crouch position, a little spin jump, so that it could shoot and ledge grab the floor. Basically, whenever you shoot, it pushes your sprite down a couple of pixels. So that's one way to stand up almost immediately. It's kind of a task strat, and if you kind of get it wrong, you just don't lose very much time at all, like a frame or two, if that, because you're still standing up faster. But if you get it, you save a couple of frames, so
yeah,
you'll see that here and there.
As you mentioned, these strats, they really only save a little bit of time, but it adds up. There's so many rooms in this game, you know, it's like over an hour, so it really does add up, especially at this high level. And yeah, the door fix you mentioned is another big thing where IGT, it loses time, but obviously we're raising RTA here, so it saves RTA time because you get less of the kind of screen scrolling slowly up and down.
Yeah, that was a kind of relatively recent change. What, like 2019 or so they started going by real time?
Yeah, it's nice to not have a bunch of ties on the leaderboard, so I definitely agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because now we have so many ports to newer consoles. like on the Wii U and on the Switch. And on the Wii U, like they didn't even bother adjusting the RTA because there's so much lag, so much more lag than the original GBA on a GameCube or on the actual GBA. So they just didn't even touch the RTA there. But on the Switch, it's not really clear whether the lag is any better or worse. I think it's a little bit faster.
Yeah,
On
just
top of the decreased lag, it's also running at a very slightly faster frame rate.
Monkey
So
loses some
that can be
time
accounted
there.
for.
Yikes! He even fell down too. Scotty carried by RNG yet again. It's kind of funny on both iDoors. He did the. I mean, it happens to all of us, me especially, where you'll miss both missiles, but he smartly shot a third one, and he. Like the worst is when you shoot both missiles and then the iDoor closes and you get no shot at all. But he got the missile in both times. But yeah, he definitely gaining some time here on Monkey with that iDoor there.
Yeah, and although Monkey has been running the game longer, when you compare like when they started, I feel like Scotty may have grinded enough to like catch up to that amount of experience.
Probably, yeah. I'm relatively new. I've only been in the community for about 2 years, but like when I joined the community, like Scotty was, grinding hundo 80%, here and there, not the whole time, but here and there. Whereas Monkey, I think in this tournament, this is the first time I've ever really seen him grind Fusion. I believe, could be mistaken though.
Yeah, he probably did a lot of offline runs, but
Yeah,
still.
part. It's dinner time for the pup. She's getting excited.
Nice.
Very excited dog. This is the 80%. So now that we have Charge Beam, the RNG is going to be cut down significantly with the iDoor, which is good. So every iDoor for now on is going to be killed in one shot instead of kind of 2 cycles. So that's going to be a big plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the drawbacks I feel of Fusion is that any percent and 100% are very, very similar, at least for the first 45 minutes or so.
Yep.
Like you actually skip a lot of expansions on your first trip just because it's like half a second faster to get on cleanup.
Definitely. There's a few, especially I really enjoy Sector 4 in Hundo. Like, not the cleanup, but when you go through your first time. There's a lot of cool movement and techniques that you can do. But for the most part, on every other sector, it's all done in cleanup, because as you said, it's slightly faster with, screw attacking bomb blocks or shine sparking or whatever you need to do, space jumps, that kind of thing. Yeah, Thunder mentioning how Scotty, unfortunately, his only death in the entire tournament, obviously, but yeah, he got hit by... It was super unfortunate where he got hit by the literal last Blue X before the E-Tank in Sector 6.
Dang.
A little bit sloppy in that time up there. In Sector 2, there's a lot of really, really neat optimizations. One of my favorite rooms in Sector 2 is going to be, it's called the Maze Room. And you'll see these runners do all sorts of movement techniques where they back up and they use momentum to just go slightly faster. And then besides Maze Room, there's a few others, but I won't talk about everything here. But yeah, Sector 2, I really enjoy the top tier movement. Really fun to watch. It's looking like about 10 seconds here. Roughly. So far from perfect, but I mean, 1309 Scotty grabbing bombs, that's not too shabby, I would say. These two runners, they can even get it in sub 13 if it's really optimal, but in a race setting where you're not resetting for RNG, yeah, sub 1330 is definitely quite solid for anybody. Yeah, speaking of the momentum, Scotty's about to enter, is entering it now, the maze room, where you'll see him kind of jump up or kind of go back just to use momentum to just go a little bit faster than you
Yeah,
would.
even unmorphs in that tunnel falling down, so you don't bounce in spring ball.
Exactly. Yep.
Very well timed morph there to shoot the charge shot exactly low enough to kill that Zoro.
Yeah, there's just that charge shot's so difficult. This movement, God, I love watching it. As you see,
And there's the
Monkey
back
missed
of
it.
Monkey.
Yeah, he missed it a little bit, but with a very clean backup with the missile.
I wonder when people are gonna start going for the bomb jump in this little pancake room. Because you could actually totally skip this little hidden elevator here.
Really? Oh, but it's a bomb jump, which is like freaking impossible.
Yeah, midair bomb jump. It might be frame perfect.
I mean, you never know. They do
Probably
a
a
bomb
2-frame
jump.
window.
They do have like a setup for a bomb jump in Hundo in Sector 3, so you
Yeah.
never know, right? Ooh,
Yeah, I
Scotty
want to
getting
say.
carried. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to say there are like 3 or 4 midair bomb jumps you could potentially go for in Hundo. But
Yeah. I see the smirk on his face. He knows. He's probably gonna call with Monkey as well. Monkey's complaining to him.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the great things about running Fusion is that the community is so unified and like they're always communicating when they're racing. They're always just chatting and making fun of each other and whatnot.
Pretty much, yeah. We all get along with smack talking, essentially. Yeah, here we go with Zazabi. Slight RNG boss here, but these guys definitely dealing with it super quickly. Getting a nice double-double. And the sweet spot. Yeah, you'll see these runners for every single Core X kill. They want to kill it in a specific spot, so it doesn't kind of wander around the rear. Monkey doing it there, where they can instantly obtain the Core X to save that little bit of time.
And Scotty just did, and Monkey's about to do pretty much the biggest door fix in the game that saves an entire half a second, something like that.
Yep. Okay.
Pretty cool
Scotty?
setup for the SAX skip here. That saves about, I want to say, 6 or 7 seconds.
Yep, 6 or 7. Yep. It looked like he morphed a little early there, but nah, he was fine. Yeah, Monkey's morph looked early as maybe I just do like a slightly different setup because both of them morphing at the exact same time, and
like it looks like such a simple room. You just wait, run forward, shoot the floor, and run backward. But they make it so complicated doing this entire song and dance with the SAX, spring ball over it, and then door fix at the very end.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the scariest parts in a race situation because you can definitely die in that room, and we've seen quite a few deaths in there. Not a crazy amount because a lot of runners just opted not to go for sack skip. But yeah, I've seen I think at least 2.
So if you want to get involved in the speedrunning scene, but you're kind of scared off by all these really minute tricks and stuff, you really don't have to do them. You don't have to do like half of the stuff that these runners do. You could still get a pretty solid time just kind of sticking with the basics.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, like stay on the ground as long as you can. Don't worry about killing all the enemies. Learn how to fight the bosses optimally, or close to it at least.
Yeah, boss fights are key for sure with saving a lot of time. That's the first thing that I really kind of grinded was the bosses because you can lose a lot of time, especially on this boss coming up here that they're going to be fighting in Sector 4, Cirrus. Um, almost certainly they'll both get the 2 cycle, but if you miss the 2 shot on Cirrus, each additional phase is, I think, at least like 10 seconds, which is a big time loss. Yeah, here comes Sector 4, which there's going to be some... Got the Cirrus fight, and then I would assume both of these guys are going to go for Reverse Cirrus, which is an extremely difficult trick. I would probably say the most difficult trick in any percent, where you'll see them do a bunch of single wall jumps to get out of the water and go on the left side, leaving Cirrus, instead of the right side, which saves about 6 seconds.
Yeah, that was considered a task-only trick because it's extraordinarily strenuous on your hands. You have to do really rapid switching between left and right while timing the jumps perfectly. Well, near perfectly at least. You have several frames of leeway, but the amount of inputs you have to do in that time is just... a lot of players will recommend against doing it just because it could, like, mess with your hands, and you could if you're like doing it too often, it could cause like long-term injury.
It's definitely a very tough, like I've tried it a few times just out of practice sakes. Scotty with yet another just one beam. But we'll see what Monkey gets here. So Scotty with a pretty good RNG considering it's just a race with no reason.
Monkey manages to get all the way up this room without having to climb the ledge.
Oh yeah, good that you mentioned that. That's really tough to get those jumps. Not get the ledge grab. A lot of this run goes so quickly. A lot of times I just miss some of these, crazy difficult strats that they do. But yeah, that's a tough one there. And even the monkey hanging on the ceiling there, that's another very small optimization that saves a little bit of time, but I believe Scotty didn't go for it, so saving a little bit of time there. Very well done from Scotty.
I was worried for a second because he missed one wall jump, which means he had to do that for even longer, which just makes it like exponentially harder every time you miss a jump.
Like Monkey.
Just like Monkey did, yeah.
Still,
they both nail it, though.
Yeah. Both nailing it very, very, very well done. That is such a tough strat. Monkey runs on GameCube controller, and I kind of think it might be a little bit easier on GameCube controller. But I don't really know for sure, but it seems with stick it might be a little bit easier.
Interesting. It varies from person to person, depending on your hand size and like how you've learned to move your thumbs. It definitely varies which controller you would prefer.
Monkey also speedruns Monkey Ball, so I believe that's for the GameCube. So it like you said, it's probably just preference. He's probably just used to the controller. That's why he likes it.
Most people prefer the Game Boy Advance and or the SP. Yep. I personally prefer the SP. I've known runners who have ran on Xbox 360 controllers, on PS3 controllers, on keyboard, on GameCube, both D-pad and control stick. It varies because the D-pad is kind of... It's really tiny on the GameCube controller, and it very easily switches to diagonal, which will make you aim up and break your spin. So that's pretty bad for that trick. Maybe the stick is better for that.
Whoever that runs on D-pad on GameCube, they are a crazy person. That D-pad is tiny and horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the PS4 controller personally, but it, like you said, it's just up to preference essentially. I wonder what's worse, the D-pad on the OG Game Boy Advance or the GameCube controller. That's a good question. Which one's worse? Probably GameCube. I don't know.
The D-pad is the biggest reason people recommend the SP. Even though the controller is tiny, which it kind of sucks if you have bigger than average hands. Luckily, my hands are like almost exactly average, so I can manage.
Yeah, Scotty and JRP, two top runners, both of them run on SP. So it obviously can be done at a very high level. I've heard it's a very comfortable controller, and even the shoulder buttons are like, I've heard they're really nice as well.
They can be nice, but they do have a tendency to wear down and stop functioning. Although you can open it up and just like provide some padding for the contacts.
But not too many mistakes these runners have done. I noticed Smokey with a couple like really small mistakes, not big of a deal. But Scotty missing the spark or the shine spark there, sparking a little too high. But with a really nice backup, he ended up maybe losing like 4 or 5 seconds there, giving Monkey some time save. I think he was going for, what's it called? I forget what it's even called. Scotty was going for a bob skip or something like that. It looks like it. Otherwise, why would he spark there?
That was interesting.
Not even close, though. Didn't even get the first jump. But I commend the attempt. That'd be like the most hyped thing of all time if he got that in this race. Or any race.
The bob skip shine spark was pretty much it was something that only the top player of like the early mid 2000s and like the 10s were like only the top player was even going for, just out of sheer curiosity if it was possible. And at this point I think 5 people in the world have ever accomplished it, and I think only 1 has done it without pause buffering.
Yeah, I saw Scotty do it on a stream once, and it was a hilarious. By the way, both of these guys, we should follow their streams, but it took him like 45 minutes to an hour to do it, even somebody as skilled as Scotty. But I believe he did it without pause buffering. I could be mistaken because it was a while ago. But call it being without pause buffering. Yeah, it does save time, but yeah, we were talking about how difficult. How difficult River Cirrus was. That almost. See, it's funny. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is TAS only." That one probably will be TAS only until like 10 years from now. Then somebody will figure it out. That one's probably the most difficult strat you can possibly do in this game.
Yeah.
But even like doubles on plasma, or not plasma, wave core, people were like, "Oh, for sure, that's only TAS because of the oscillating hitbox and how crazy difficult diffusion doubles are." But then a community member, Miguel, found a setup for it, and all of a sudden, now people are doing it RTA. You never know with speedruns. People always find out stuff, random setups and whatnot.
Yeah, I see a lot of speedrun streams where people will say, "Oh, this is like it's humanly impossible. I mean, it can be done in a task, but like no one's ever gonna do it." And then I just laugh to myself.
Same, because it's always gets proven wrong.
I literally banned the word impossible in my chat.
Nice. So I did look at the times here. It looks like Monkey's about 18 seconds behind now. So, I mean, we have plenty of run left. But it looks like he did lose a little bit of time from, when was it, like around Sector 2 bombs until now on Scotty. Oh, he's for sure talking to Monkey in VC, I could tell. By just his facial expression, unless he's just a crazy person and talking to himself.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah, true. And then, as we see Scotty here, we just found out recently another kind of small optimization. We, in the past, would always pick up the missile expansion here in Sector 6, but recently Schmade kind of found out that it's not only a little bit faster to pick up the, we call it double yellows in Sector 5, that missile tank, but it's also a little bit less RNG. Ooh, very scary moment from Scotty there. With only
If he got hit by
94.
one of them, he would have gotten hit by all of them. So
Exactly, yeah. Oh my gosh!
he could survive one though.
He could survive one, and he did get hit by one. Oh man,
Thunderous
Scotty.
applause.
Whew. Deserved. I mean, hey,
Where's my thunderous applause emotes?
we that's Monkey. He's gonna be making up some time. But sorry, I interrupted myself with thinking Scotty was gonna die there. But yeah, it's also a little bit less RNG for the Sector 5 missile tank over the Sector 6 because you never know where the enemies are gonna be at in Sector 6. Nice sack skip from Scotty there. That not only is very difficult, but looks super cool too. Monkey going for it as well and nailing it. And of course, Zero Beam, Idor, of course. And then Monkey, I'm just gonna take a wild guess, say he's gonna get 3. I hope not.
Yeah, Scotty's been practicing RNG for a long time.
True, true. Very nice, Monkey. He did the RNG manipulation strat that I so no, I'm just kidding. But again with Zero. Yeah, practicing RNG is very important in this game.
Yeah, some players are really good at getting good luck.
That was a phenomenal Megacore X fight from Scotty.
Yeah.
He did 4-shot and got the triple-double.
Yeah, those cores take 6... well, this core particularly takes 6 shots to defeat. And you'll see it only takes them like 3 rounds because they're actually getting double hits on those cores. They do so because the core X's basically have rectangular hitboxes, so as it's flying towards the missiles, they're firing 2 missiles like perfectly aligned with each other, just shooting straight up so that the core collides with both missiles at the same time.
Yep. Monkey also with a essentially perfect fight there. Very well done. Needs to climb a little bit there though. Here comes the Sector 6 escape. The, in my opinion, worst enemies in the game, the Puffers. Gonna be all over the place. Their patterns are random. It's got a pretty good escape there. Monkey with a couple hiccups, but not a big deal.
Some people consider this sector kind of dull, but it is. There's a lot of reacting you got to do with the RNG, with the puffer locations.
Especially because with puffers, as you saw it from Monkey there, even if you hit them and kill them, they still have a hurt box left from when you hit them. So there's really sometimes nothing you can do. It's correct. Is it an opinion then? Yeah, probably. Yeah, they could be very annoying at times, and especially now that, like in this, we'll go through Sector 6 again, but we'll have ice missiles to kind of help, where you can shoot them with an ice missile and they won't die. They'll just kind of be there, and that'll help you out at least a little bit. And in Hundo, you have Screw Attack, which, for some reason, when you screw attack the puffers, they don't leave a hitbox. Not sure why, but hey, I'll take it. Yeah, Scotty with a really good split here, for sure. Monkey, I noticed, had a couple hiccups, but plenty of run left to go. But of course, in the beginning of the sector, Scotty had that big mishap where he almost died, so sure it evened out a little bit. Probably still within 20 seconds of each other. Yeah, Monkey did have the fastest time in the entire tournament for a while until the last race they did this week, where Scotty got a 1:11.05, which is just an incredible time. I believe it was a 1:11.29 before that Monkey got one of his earlier races. With more runners on the way to unlock level 3 doors, and then we'll pick up the ice missiles, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, you would think with as much history as this game has, we would have seen everything by now, and like the runners do all of the top strats and stuff. But this sector in particular, this trip at least, has a trick that we're probably not even going to see that's been known about since 2005. Where instead of going left in this data room and just like climbing your way up the ladders and going around the sector, you could actually go right instead, and it's about a second or maybe half a second faster. But it requires a frame perfect shine storage. And yeah, Scotty's just continuing on to the left.
Yeah, he would probably go for it if this wasn't grand finals, but he's not gonna give Monkey the opportunity.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you miss it, it loses 15 seconds RTA.
Yeah. So IGT it's 1 second faster, but RTA it's literally does not save any time. I believe Scotty timed it recently. And
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it ended up being like exactly the same. Just because when you shine spark and you'll completely stop, and there's a couple of those there and there.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if like it was retimed with door fixing considered.
Yeah.
Because like things will change depending on the skill of the player and the consistency and whatnot. So you really gotta time for yourself what is and is not faster.
Definitely. I personally know that all too well when somebody like Scotty tells me what this certain amount of time save is, and I'm like, okay, so I need to add about 2 or 3 seconds to that, but I got you.
Yeah. You gotta add like 2 or 3 seconds per room for the thousands of room you go through in the game.
But here's Scotty, he's picking up the missiles I mentioned earlier. Picking up these instead of the ones in Sector 6. And it's emergency time. Emergency and Franker's Eve.
Oh no. What did that Franker's Eve have for dinner?
I don't know. My Franker's Eve had kibble. That's all I know.
Hope it wasn't poisoned.
So we've been doing this throughout the tournament. Curious on what times you think these runners are going to get in their emergency. I'm going to say Scotty's going to get a 4:38, and Monkey's going to get a 4:34. Curious on what you think. And chat, feel open to guess as well.
I'm going with I don't know who's gonna get what. I'm gonna guess a 4:35 and a 4:33.
That sounds about right. I will admit as well, 4:38 is incredibly difficult, but I'm just trying to jinx Scotty. Trying to make it close, Yeah, 4:38 is like essentially like the fastest you can possibly get. I think 4:40
with good luck and all.
Fastest, yeah.
There's a couple seconds lost from
He went
not
for that.
quite getting that jump.
That jump is extremely difficult, but I commend him for going for it. I'm sure with them talking and Monkey most likely complaining about RMG, he probably knows he's at least a little bit ahead.
Yeah, that's a really interesting strat because, like, although you can't necessarily single wall jump and like gain height without like doing some frame perfect bomb jumping shenanigans, you can do a little bit of a jump extend to like gain some horizontal distance near the top of your jump.
Yep.
And just be able to just cut that corner and grab that ledge.
Yeah, Step extend plus like I think it's a shot pizza, but yeah, just a barely enough as long as you wall jump perfectly. Oh my gosh, Monkey actually got less beams than Scotty. It's crazy. Crap, I missed what Scotty got, but his
Oh wow,
emergency looks perfect.
and Monkey's getting a 438.
Yeah, that probably will be about a 438. So Monkey with a phenomenal. That is a phenomenal emergency split.
Yeah, 438, 68 or so. Wow.
Beautiful.
So I think you called the times, but kind of flipped the players.
I think so, yeah. Pretty much. I was not expecting either of them to get a 438. That's incredible from Monkey there. But I wouldn't even be surprised if that was a goal for him. But not 100% sure. And yeah, actually, Scotty got a beam. So both of them essentially got a 438. Wow. Not easy to do there.
Another minor thing is you'll notice Monkey actually, I think both of them actually, wall jumped off of the wall before climbing across the monkey bars over the lava. Because wall jumping actually does propel you faster than your speed cap for aerial movement.
I didn't even know that.
It's just usually not relevant because wall jumping kind of sticks you to the wall for like, I don't know, right. I want to say 10 frames or something. So it usually doesn't make a difference, but because climbing across the monkey bars is so slow, you can get quite a bit of airtime wall jumping at a faster speed.
Yeah, that strats particularly, I don't do it because although, as you said, it's faster, it's very scary because if you mess it up, you're just going to fall right into the lava.
Yeah.
Time to save the animals.
And you could actually see, if you compare the two strats, like if you do the wall jump, you'll actually skip past a lava plume that I think always rises when you enter the room.
Very nice. Yeah, that's typically, I think almost every single top runner does that wall jump there.
Speaking of wall jumps, we're gonna have a little bit of some air stalling here in the next room for Scotty. It's what we call the impossible strat because one of the runners would regularly do races with us and would be trying this strat and has done the science and has determined that it's impossible. But yeah, Scotty pulled it off just nicely there.
Yep, nowadays runners getting it almost every single time, but I love that it's called impossible strat.
Yeah.
Boom. They both gonna nail it pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Basically, they're firing the missile straight up so that it just lands inside the enemy sprite, the frame that it fully forms, and they're just kind of jumping through the frozen enemy. And then after that, they have to do a wall jump and get above the enemy and just do a very short wall jump so they could turn around and fire a missile straight down and hit the enemy and freeze it before landing on it. It's pretty tight. It's manageable, but
for me, it's like
something you'll probably mess up from time to time.
Exactly. Like I can definitely get it, like in practice, multiple times in a row, over and over again. But in runs, I just cannot get it more consistent than like 50%. So it loses more time than it saves when you mess it up. So that's why I don't really bother going for it. But Monkey got essentially like perfect animals there, which is like a 1%-ish chance. So finally, luck turning around just a little bit for Monkey. That was very fast animals there. I think they all came out like shortly after he closed the text box. So, if I'm not mistaken, Actually, Monkey with some really good movement in the past, 5-10 minutes-ish, and Scotty with a few mistakes. I mean, Metroid Fusion is far from an easy speedrun, especially at this level with the crazy optimizations these guys do, so I believe he's catching up just a little bit here.
Yeah, Monkey pulling off that instant stand-up where you just unmorph, jump, and shoot in, like,
Yep.
pretty much consecutive frames. We're pretty
Pico,
close to it.
You should watch the VOD. That was probably the best emergency at any race ever in Fusion from both of our runners. I would highly suggest watching the VOD if you missed it. And back to Sector 5 for the second time. We'll be seeing Sector 5 3 times this run. This time it's for good old power bombs. Metroid Fusion's X-ray, essentially.
Yeah, there's an option here to do a shine spark into a wall and then do a pseudo space jump out of it, where you're just like hanging on a wall and you just magically get a new space jump, or you get a regular jump out of it, like you see Monkey doing there. I don't think it's actually any faster, but it is pretty cool.
It looks very cool. Yeah, I don't think Scotty went for it, but yeah, Monkey getting it there. Well done.
He didn't.
Yeah, it's funny in this game, you would think a lot of shine sparking would be faster in a lot of instances, but to start the shine spark, you literally have to stop all of your momentum with a down press, and you collide with the wall, and then there's that animation with all that going on. So that's why a lot of the times shine sparking is actually slower than just not going for it.
Yeah, it's the fastest form of movement, but like it's even faster than speed boosting. It's very slightly faster if you're just shine sparking, but because like it'll save half a second at the cost of a second.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Like even there's that like shine break in Sector 3 where like I always assumed it was like 4 seconds or 5 seconds of time save, but it's like no, it's just 1 because of how slow. You have the shine spark and all that.
Yeah, and shockingly, like the very last shine spark in the game actually is only about a second faster if you get it frame perfect, versus just bonking on the ceiling halfway through.
Yeah. But it's so swag though.
Yeah.
So you gotta go for it. Well, and as you said, it's still faster, but it looks, as you said, it just looks faster than it really is, which is only about a second. But we're coming up on late game now, which is, in my opinion, the most fun to play and most fun to watch part of the run, where it's essentially like a boss rush, and we have all our upgrades, well, most of our upgrades, so we'll be using those to our advantage with going as fast as possible. What I'm really curious about is if these guys are going to go for JRP jump. If they don't, their run's invalidated. JRP jump's a jump where you go to the ship, and it actually loses time, but it looks cool. And it only loses, like, frames, but... It is faster to just not jump through the door and just run and slide into the ship.
Yeah, I always kind of wondered why they used to jump there, just to try to land exactly on the spot, when it actually just beams you up as soon as you're running like onto those tiles.
Scotty, ugh. Always has to go fast. Ugh.
There's also a really almost useless strat you could do there where, like, as soon as you reach those tiles, you release and repress forward immediately, and you just stop on a dime.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Monkey my king! See, Monkey, he knows what's up. Let's go. Monkey's the winner. I'm calling it. Yeah, nice high five there. Yeah, this boss coming up on Scotty's end, Yakuza, is a big RNG point. Pretty much the last massive RNG point in the run where We're hoping we get, well, of course, there's an eye door, and then after the eye door, we're hoping to get just a 1 round where Yakuza crawls around the room for 1 round, but he can crawl around the room up to 4 rounds, and then I'm pretty sure these guys go for the fastest strat possible, so it could be a 5 round if they go for the wall jump and fastest grab possible. Scotty, carry. See Scotty, he's doing the wall jump up. Nope, he's not actually. But you can do a wall jump off the right side of the wall and get grabbed by Yakuza. Ooh, a 4 round from Scotty, and it saves a little bit of time. So even though we got 0 beams, you never want to see a 4 round.
Ooh, got a double missile there. 2 double missiles there while Yakuza's space jumping around.
That might have even been 4 doubles. He did miss a couple shots there, but yeah, at least 3 doubles is pretty sick.
Yeah, it's kind of random. They are just kind of standing in the middle and shooting 2 missiles straight up, like you do with the Core X. But since you can't really manipulate Yakuza's positioning reliably, and you're just kind of reliant on RNG there.
Ooh, that's a really cool sweet spot Monkey did there.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that before. But that's one of the harder sweet spots, at least in my opinion, to get, because of at least the way I do my doubles on that core. It's pretty tough for me to get the sweet spot. But yeah, with the Yakuza space jump part, we have a couple extra missiles to work with, so that's why runners tend to go for that, because if you get the double, it does save time.
What looks like a pretty risky strat there from Scotty is doing a little space jump on like above the SAX to kind of alert it and just like get it to shoot towards you and just miss you. Monkey, unfortunately, getting shot, doesn't die.
Ooh, that was close though.
And still goes for the bait at the start of that room and doesn't bother freezing the SAX.
Monkey is our king, dude. He's a Chad.
Not quite out of the... not quite in the clear just yet. Okay, doesn't get sniped by the key hunter above. If you get hit by that stinger, it does 128 damage, is it? With various...
It's over 100 for sure. So
or
you would have
136.
that. Yeah.
Might be 136.
Very scary. Scotty finally getting some beams. I think this is the first door to get him over 1 beam. I could be mistaken. Well, besides the first 2. But,
And I love that kind of skid jump through the door frame to...
yeah.
To get up those...
I just learned that trick recently. The way it works is you kind of just like let go of the D-pad altogether and just let your momentum carry you through, and then you hit up, and that's kind of the trick of getting that jump there.
Yeah, there's like there are a few places where you use skidding to your advantage, because you could still store the Shine Spark after releasing the D-pad entirely for like, I don't know, 20 frames ish.
Yeah, for a little while, yeah. Monkey with a cleaner fight there.
Maybe 30.
He must have had better RNG. I wasn't really paying attention because I was watching the Yakuza fight, but he made up a lot of time on Scotty, actually, from the beginning of Yakuza till now.
Ooh,
Nice.
And we got a D-boost from Scotty as well. That's that might be a frame perfect storage to get like just misaligned so that the wall kind of pushes you forward as you're shine sparking up.
If it's not frame perfect, it's like 2 or 3 frames. It's very tight.
Yeah, and the timing with when you do that is gonna manipulate the enemy up above to collide with you as soon as you bonk, which cancels the bonk animation and pushes you onto the ledge. It's done again. Well, it used to be done in Sector 6 right before Xbox. I don't think these runners do that anymore.
Oh, F is bringing up. Scotty only got 1 double on the Notori core there. That's, I mean, That's literally like 6, 7 seconds Monkey made up there. What time here? 51 into that door. 59. So 8 seconds. All of a sudden, we got a close race here.
Yeah, that can be made up with one eye door.
Exactly. There's only 2 eye doors left in the run. We have one before Nightmare and one before Ridley. Not much RNG left. But as you said, this is very close here. Nearing up, we got about 20 minutes left of the run.
Yeah, and with the cores as well, you could get time losses from multiple missed doubles. We're going for a space boost from
They're
Scotty.
both going for it. He's cooking.
Very nice.
He's cooking.
Oh,
he
that
didn't
is
carry it all the way, though.
Perfect.
Yeah, he didn't carry it all the way, but that's good enough. That was beautiful.
Good backup spark from Monkey as well.
Yeah, we call that Nightmare Space Boost one of the toughest strats in the run because of how difficult it is to space boost through door transitions, which there are quite a few in that space boost. So yeah, Scotty cooking there.
Yeah, it's super complicated, and like as I said, the Shine Spark is very slightly faster than speed boosting. That includes space boosting as well. But because of the startup animation as well as the bonk animation afterwards, and the fact that it doesn't quite go all the way through the hallway because it just like dips down at the end.
Yeah.
The space boost is actually a little bit faster.
Alright, good to see there. Scotty got 0 beams, but Monkey only got not a big deal there. Yeah, it is, as you said, it really doesn't save much time, but you know, it's for swag points, and it's one of the coolest looking strats in the entire run, so I'm happy they both went for it.
I like to consider every speed run a practice run for the next run.
Technically, that is true.
Yeah.
So let's see, we got 2 quick kill attempts. Scotty missing it, but with a nice backup, and Monkey also missing it.
So that kind of relies on just killing the first 2 phases with just the right timing, right?
Yes, exactly. You do the first phase exactly the same every single time, and so that way Nightmare, it's not random. He would just swoop to the bottom right essentially, and then you shoot your missiles. Kind of. I'm moving my hands. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but and you just kind of go with Nightmare as it slowly kind of dips down and goes up, and try and get those last few missiles in. It's very, very tricky, very, very difficult. But even if you you get most of the missiles besides like 1 or 2, you can, shoot Nightmare while he's flying around, and it's still faster than the traditional kill.
Yeah, whenever Nightmare touches the wall with a ladder on it, and it detects that you're behind it, it'll move in what appears to be a random direction, but that's actually entirely based on an invisible object that's just constantly doing a figure 8 in the room.
Yep. And so, as I mentioned, if you kill him in the same spot every time, he'll always do that same, dip to the bottom right type of movement. Scotty, oh man, with some really, really good lower 4 movement. He carried that Shine Spark all the way down, the one that you start in like Sector 5. He carried it all the way down to the bottom of that room. I've only seen, I'm sure they do it all the time, but I've only seen in the tournament Sci-Fi do it.
And solid wall boost from Monkey as well.
I really enjoy this part of the run where there's not like any bosses or anything, but there's a lot of really tight, really difficult jumps and movement techniques that these runners will do.
Yeah, a lot of space jumping, a lot of climbing ledges and stuff, and just climbing rooms in general. And one of the hardest things in speedrunning in general, like any game you play, one of the hardest things is climbing, like ascending, because how fast you go depends entirely on how soon you're pressing the jump button, and exactly how long you're reacting.
Yeah, it can be very, very tricky, especially in like this later section of the game where there's just enemies all over the place, projectiles you gotta dodge. And Scotty with the near flawless lower four, definitely broadening the gap.
Like space jumping alone and through a room is going to it's going to cost you a second or two compared to like the top runners, just because of how much more precise they are with all that practice they have, all those runs they've done, those
Yes.
tens of thousands of runs.
Yeah, space jumping in Fusion is notoriously a little
See Monkey missing one there.
wonky. Yeah. Especially
What is
like
it? 15 frames you have to wait.
it's tight, it's wonky, especially a game that's similar but different. Zero Mission, Space Jam and Zero Mission is like awesome, right? It's so intuitive, but yeah, it's pretty. You just essentially just got, like you mentioned, you just got to get used to it. It just takes practice and time, you know. To
Yeah, and in addition to just like hitting the jump button as soon as you can, you also they also actually cut their jumps a little bit short because as you're ascending, like once you get close to the top of your jump, you slow down.
Yep.
So they just cut their jumps off early so that they're maintaining that top speed for
Exactly.
more of their jumps.
Yeah, it's fastest. It does it. Ooh, monkey running right by the platform there. But it sounds weird where you jump, like you don't jump all the way. Not jumping all the way is faster, but it is. It's just the way it works. I said that I explained that terribly, but hope you guys understand what I mean.
Yeah, there are basically breaking points. Like you want to, like a lot of times you'll want to just get up to the top in as few jumps as possible, but sometimes it matters so little how many jumps it is because there are so many jumps that you just you want to be jumping as fast, like you want your movement to be as fast as possible, so you do just like one extra jump
Yep. Yep.
to make up
There's
for
a
it.
lot of rooms like that. Like just a random example, or actually not even a random, just Sector 2 in general, like leaving Yakuza and then going towards Notori. There's like 2 rooms where you do that. But here we go, box 2.
And
Probably the
speaking of
last.
movement speed, like a little known fact is like when you're space jumping, your initial jump speed with high jump is as fast as Shine Spark. So you're actually not moving faster with Shine Spark when you're sparking straight up.
So box 2, this is like the last like scary point. Like I don't foresee. I guess Sax is pretty scary, but these guys are so good. Scotty going for the doubles. Let's see if he gets it. Couldn't tell if that was a double or not.
It could be slightly mistaken. It might be slightly slower.
It looked like no,
Ooh.
it wasn't. Oh my gosh, Monkey's at 17 HP.
Which
As I
is
mentioned,
notably greater than 0.
yes. As I mentioned, this can be a very scary boss fight. Runners have died here quite a bit in races. Oh no, Monkey!
And Scotty reacting to that, he knows.
Yeah. Dang it. You hate to see grand finals end in this kind of way, but
And we've all been exactly there. We've all that's kind of a manipulation strat to not get shot when you just like stand back and shoot it straight on so that it shoots straight towards you. But if you're too far back and you jump too soon, it'll turn up and face diagonally before it hits.
exactly. I think that's the same exact way Barry died in his race. I think. I could be mistaken, but
Monkey died for Beria.
yeah. Look, hey, as you mentioned, it happens to the best of us. And even before Monkey even was in the room, I mentioned it's the last really scary part of the run because of how much damage not only box does when you hit box, but also that wave beam. It's super powerful. Does a lot of damage, but yeah, it feels bad.
I think that wave beam does 80 damage.
does a lot. And we do races. We've been kind of putting it on a hold with the tournament, but we used to do races every Friday, and I would keep track of deaths and where they would be. And I believe we have more deaths on box 2 than sack skip, I believe. So, I mean, obviously, more people fight box than people who attempt sack skip, but
It's funny.
but still, a lot of people in the races go for sack skip because, you know, if it's a good run, you want to get that time save if it's a PB. And yeah, more people have died to box than sack skip in our races.
Yeah, it's
So,
funny. You could argue either way. Like, you don't want to throw away a run on a hard trick, but at the same time, if you're on a good run, you want your run to be better.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Because
it's
it could
personal
always
preference.
PB. So a little thing that I always say is like any run that you start is a PB pace run. You know, it just depends on
Yeah.
how well or how poorly it goes. But yeah, any run you start can be your best run ever.
Yeah, it's almost political. It either is a PB potential run that you don't want to throw away, or it's a practice run and you're gonna do better next time anyway.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Oh man. But even I will definitely want to mention that even though Monkey died there, he had a phenomenal tournament. As I mentioned,
Mhm.
he had the fastest with Scotty in the same tournament, and great runners like FPiz and Bench Juice, and you know, well, we had a lot of great runners. And Monkey, for the longest time, had the fastest time in the entire tournament until literally the second to last race in the tournament, where Scotty beat him. Metroid Prime, what's up, Metroid Prime? But yeah, well done, Monkey. GG. Hate to see the tournament end that way, but things happen, especially when you're only at like whatever it was, 2 or 3 E-tanks. Nice fusion doubles on Scotty's side. I was in BC with them a couple nights ago. I wonder if Monkey's gonna show off this like weird jump he was practicing for like a freaking hour.
Very nice pacifist.
Oh yeah, very nice. Might as well go for it, right? If you're
Yeah,
gonna win.
neither saves nor loses time, but it saves the animals. That's the important thing.
Yeah. Well, it can lose time if you're like purposefully like jumping out the way
True.
of what you normally do, but yeah, not like negligible.
But like, it's especially a challenge to not lose time and still save animals.
Oh yeah,
Like, best of both worlds.
yeah, that's the best. The best strategy of all. Yeah, Thunder. I'm not sure if this is like Metroid Fusion DLC. I'm not sure what we're looking at.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you play this on the game. Like, you can put the cart in and play with, connect it to the GameCube to unlock some DLC here.
Oh, it's the Metroid Fusion GameCube expansion. Let's see.
Yeah. And I would love for Fusion to join Randovania.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
I would love it to join Archipelago as well. Like, I hope one day Randovania and Archipelago can join up. There's licensing issues, unfortunately, but there's both some. There are a lot of randomizers, and it's really awesome to be able to play with your friends, even if they don't play the same game.
Yeah. And I believe they have the multi-world where it's like Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, I think, right?
Yeah, that's Randovania. It's Prime
gotcha.
1, Prime 2, Prime 3. I believe that has Dread.
Oh, wow.
Is that right?
I have no idea, to be fair. Not too much of a rando enjoyer
I
myself.
believe it has support for Cave Story as well.
Wow. Yeah, we got Scotty
And
here right at the end. One boss left to fight.
technically it has Super Metroid, but I don't think it actually is fully like implemented, because there already is both the Super Metroid standalone randomizers of varying developers, and
Right.
it's also part of Archipelago as well.
So yep, we got. Wait, Monkey. What if Scotty dies to Zach? He should have reset. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. But that would be like the
He'd
literal
technically
funniest thing of all
unforfeit.
time. Yep. Yeah, definitely. That would actually be hilarious. Not that I definitely do not want that to happen, but it would be kind of quite comical.
Yeah, and who knows? Monkey could finish. He could beat Metroid Prime Essence before Scotty beats the Omega Metroid.
I was just thinking, like,
Which
if
doesn't
Scotty
matter,
dies,
but hey.
maybe they could just race Prime. Give Monkey a little bit of a, like a little lead. Because as we mentioned, Scotty speedruns all the 2D games, or most of the 2D Metroid games. He also speedran Prime 2, and Prime 3 as well. So he's very well versed in all the Metroid games. I believe he's like, I don't know for sure, I can look it up actually. I believe he's like top 3 or top 5 in Prime 2 at least. I don't think Prime, the original Prime.
Yeah, there's something about these, especially GBA Metroid speedrunners who just branch off and try to do all of the Metroid games.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like, skill definitely does carry over, I would say, like, in 2D Metroids, but in 3D Metroids, it's completely different. So, oh, okay, so not any percent, but Scotty's second in 100%. Holy crap, Mr. Miguel with like a 13-minute lead. Jeez.
Yeah.
So that's IGT. But
there's something about the Prime series, as well as like 3D Zeldas as well, that just makes optimizing them so much harder. Or it just creates such a bigger difference between skill levels.
yeah, especially with the out of bounds. I don't know about Prime 2, but at least in Prime 1, there's a lot of extremely difficult out of bounds stuff. But as we get our cap jams in, proportion sequence has been activated, and we're on the last little leg here.
Yeah, it's really weird. In Metroid Fusion, you're gonna be losing a couple of seconds every room compared to the top players. In Metroid Prime, you're gonna be losing like tens of seconds, maybe even minutes in rooms.
Mike showing his support for Monkey in chat. You love to see it. As you mentioned, you know, we're all friends and say nothing but nice things to each other.
This is a really good door fix as well. There was absolutely no adjustment vertically there. Okay, not quite.
Nope. I think that was 1 frame early. Yeah, 1 frame early. So almost, but no cigar.
Yeah, as much as I would like to be able to shine spark downward, your terminal velocity is also as fast as shine sparking. So that's a high speed fall into what's close to a frame perfect shine spark at the very end.
Just got one last little up strat here.
Very nice. It's a pretty tight positioning, but they have their visual cues for it.
Exactly, there's a visual cue on there that makes it essentially free. You don't even really have to spam that quickly. I mean, it's faster if you spam quickly, but spam that quickly to get the strat down. GG with a time, I believe it looks like a 1:12:20, but you can correct me if the race time says something different.
Yep.
Hello?
That's what it says on race time. Hey, GG's.
Hi.
Thank you. Played really well.
Dude, you got within like 8 seconds, and then you died.
Yeah, it
welcome
was...
on in, Scotty, as well.
Hello. Welcome. It was actually like close until I died, but oh well.
It was.
I'm not too
Disappointing.
miffed about it.
It was still an exciting race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was better than the first. I'm honestly like, I was really tilted after the first race. That race, I didn't really care. It was like, whatever. If
I'm gonna
anything,
never play
I'm
Fusion
more.
again.
If anything, I'm more relieved that the tourney is over, so I don't have to play 90% anymore.
Yeah.
You both
Yeah.
had your strengths, and like it had some really good parts and kind of less good parts, but Scotty in the beginning definitely carried by RNG. At least at the beginning.
I had worse RNG in the beginning than RNG, I think.
I told him, Scotty. I
Worse-
told him
worse
you've been
RNG than
practicing your
Monkey in the
RNG
beginning.
so hard.
Okay, I could just be tripping.
Did
Then
you?
it looked
I think
like
so.
You really did not, though.
Because
It
I was at 4 beams by charge, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you had fewer than that.
No.
You didn't.
I had, what was it, 2 at morph, I think 2 or 3 at charge, and then I also got 2 rolls.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then I had an
Yeah, and
8 jump, you had a 4 jump.
I had a 4, and I just forgot to shoot missiles on the last round.
Yeah, I mean, that's just you being dumb.
That was just me being dumb.
But holy crap, the y'all's emergency. I don't know if each of you know how good both
Oh,
of y'all's
yeah.
emergency
Yeah,
was.
we were in the
But-
AC.
Oh my god.
It's not too shabby.
They were both like essentially identical, but Scotty had the one beam, which made it 3 seconds slower. But oh my god.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
So good. So well done there. But yeah, I think although I did say that RNG was better in early game, but yeah, you got the 4-round Yakuza, which definitely
Dude.
gave Monkey that plus the
Finally,
plasma core.
I got a 0 beam 1 round. That's the first time it's ever happened to me at any percent.
You caught up significantly.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, I had a horrible phase 2, and I missed a double, and I still golded by 2 seconds.
Nice.
That was brain dead.
Yeah. After the plasma core, it was literally 8 seconds.
Yeah.
But then it kind of fluctuated from there.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Nightmare Spark was bad. I
Yeah.
don't know what went on there. I messed everything up. Kind of a noob move.
45.
And Scotty
Reserve.
made it almost all the way with the space boost. That was really exciting.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I jumped too high in the last room.
You pretty much cooked. Pretty much.
I almost cooked.
Yeah.
Only lost a little bit.
Yeah, congratulations, Scotty. Winning the tournament.
Thank you.
I'm sure
Yay.
nobody expected
Wait!
this.
I lost prediction!
Ooh.
Oh! That's what I'm most mad about.
Hooked.
I was mentioning this when you died, though, Monkey, but you also played so well. Congratulations on not only, you got your couple PBs recently, but
Yeah.
just playing really well in the tournament.
Played really well until Winners Finals, really. And then Winners Finals
Yeah.
got carried because Scotty died.
Pretty.
But everything before that, I mean, I played really well. I think my worst time before Winners Finals was like a high 112. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm
And then
cool
Scotty
with that.
almost died in the same sector as well, Sector 6.
He almost died like 4 times.
I was really nervous there because, like,
It was-
I mean,
yeah, you were able to get one blue X. Sorry for the barks, but if you got comboed, it was over. But you were fine.
Yeah, that was a clutch freeze on that X, like 2 inches beneath you.
Yeah.
So what's coming up, Monkey? You gonna be speedrunning Metroid Prime? Looks like.
sure.
What are y'all's plans? Because I know it's not Metroid Fusion any percent at least.
True.
Fusion, Hundo, and probably Prime.
Nice.
I've been doing ZM Hundo for a little bit, and I'm probably going to continue that. I might go into Prime since I've been helping Monkey with that, so I might actually play it again.
How's Super Monkey Ball going?
I haven't played it in like 3 months. Don't miss it a bit. The game is too hard.
What about you, Scotty? How's Super Monkey Ball going?
Oh, awesome.
So true.
I'm the best
Hop on?
right now.
Let's go. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, thank you guys so much. I mean, here, Jagger, if you got anything. feel
Yeah,
free.
runners have anything to add first?
I mean, Scotty carried as usual, so
Oh yeah, yeah. Just me and my 12 beams.
yeah. I mean, hey, you just got carried by RNG. There was no skill in your action. That's
Oh
facts.
yeah, absolutely not.
There's a lot of skill in like getting good at RNG, allegedly.
There's also a lot of skill in lying. He's pretty good at that.
What? No, I'm not. I never lie.
Don't
I
gaslight
believe
me.
Wait a minute. Anyway, so yeah, thanks a huge bunch. Those are words. Yeah.
Facts.
Thanks a lot for all the runners in this for participating and putting on a lot of awesome shows for like the past couple months, and huge thanks to our volunteers for helping out admin the races, and all of the commentators for doing a good job. And yeah, we had a bit of a rough start, but everyone pretty much pulled together and pulled through.
Yeah, after the first 2 races, everything went smooth sailing after that. So
Yeah, really.
yeah,
Not too shabby. I was gonna say, by GBH standards, this tournament was like lightning fast.
yeah,
Yeah, really.
yeah. As you mentioned, Jagger, for sure. Thanks to all the runners and commentators, for sure. I mean, we see the top 2 runners here, but I mean, the top 2 in the tournament at least. But yeah, I couldn't have done it without everybody for participating. So appreciate everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Big thanks to like
Mike,
sorry, I just got a message.
Mike for some hype races.
So distracted. Wait.
Yeah, the admins as well for helping out too, for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you,
big
everybody.
thanks to RP2 Night for like writing up all of the rules and like tidying up all the things. Everyone for providing input, and like all of the admins, Ronald Rage, Autumn Out of Habit, Hercules Bench Press, and I, and RP2 Night as well, took up a lot of coverage of the schedules and making sure everything after the first couple races was covered. First couple of rounds.
And then
And huge thanks to Speedgaming, of course, for
yes,
putting on this restream.
and
Thank
maybe
you, volunteers.
potentially, allegedly, a ZM tournament, maybe could happen
Hopefully.
if
Yeah,
we have enough racers.
That'll be exciting.
But, probably that'll be put together after a GDQ because these things take time. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a great tournament. I've enjoyed it.
See you all next mission.
Goodbye forever, chat.
Goodbye forever.
See ya. Much love.